So as typical with running the automated mom signals for momentum signals, catching momentum bursts, I have the mom signals automated strategy turned on to trigger any trade activity after 8:32 U.S. Central Time. We're just into the first couple minutes here of the U.S. cash session open. So I'm going to let it run and we'll see what happens. I typically will go for a minimum of 700 a day daily profit objective, trading anywhere from 4 to 5 MNQs uh, selected within the strategy settings. The strategy, of course, has time window settings, so you can have it run, during a certain time window. You can use that or not use that. I have it on. We have daily profit target and daily stop loss as part of the settings. We have a trail stop mechanism. We have break even plus. So all the typical stuff you'd always want in a very simplistic designed automated strategy are in the strategy. So I'm standing by right now. It's about 3 minutes after the open and just waiting for a signal. On any signal, I'm in long and short mode. So it can take trades in either long or short direction. I do have the ability to set the strategy in long mode only or short mode only. There we go. We got a signal. We're triggered into a trade. So our first trade of the day is short, and we'll let it run and see how many trades it takes to get to a $700 daily profit objective. Let's see, I've got it set at 5, not 4. So I'm set for 5 MNQs. Once we get a certain distance movement in our intended direction, the stop will automatically go to break even plus. That's all part of the settings. You can set that, to be really attentive or more passive, meaning, price can go 1 to 1 and then it'll move, or half the distance of what your risk is and move. That's all adjustable. So we'll stand by and we'll see what we get here. Okay, we got movement in our intended direction to the point that the automation automatically moved the stop to break even plus in a free trade. Pretty close to daily profit objective. If I saw this stall, we're right near support, I could literally hit the flatten button on any push back to that pivot or lower and say, okay, I'm done. I just want to be one and done for the day. So I'm just going to let this baby run and we'll see what we get. The recent range of price, there is some support lower. So if this were to break and a little pulse, just a little bit of movement lower, I could easily be up to $700 on a one and done trade. Or if I just saw it come down, stall, and I want to be done for the day in only the first few minutes, anything over $600, getting close to 700, I could hit flat and just call it a day. So it's in the end, it's totally up to you. So we'll just stand by and we'll see what we get. I'm just going to let it do its thing. As long as I see feeds connected, I have the audible turned down. So when we get signals, like if we got an additional short signal, it will not put on more positions. So since we're already in a short trade, any new short signals that are sequential to the first one, it won't put on new trades. It just keeps us in our existing trade. If we get a long signal, it will automatically flatten the short trade and initiate trade to the long side, since I'm in long and short mode. If I put this in short mode right now, it wouldn't take any long signals. It would only take a short signal if I'm not in any trades. If I'm in a trade, it'll just keep working the trade I have on until, I either hit my profit objective, I close out the trade manually, or if it came up and hit the stop. So anyhow, that's where we're at. We'll stand by and see what plays out here. But the nice thing about mom signals, a high percentage of the trades in the time windows, something like the indices, I'm not going to trade the indices, 24 hours a day on this low of a time frame. I could do that easily on a swing trading time frame, no problem, and do amazing. But I'm just talking about, hey, I'm going to trade the prime hours for that particular instrument, in my prop account or in my personal account. And I got guys and gals hitting like gold during the Asian session right now, going nuts on gold. That's fine. I got some people that trade DAX. I got CL traders, ES traders, and so on. And then people are using the system too on Quantower, which is multi-asset on FX and crypto. And then as we add TickBlaze this week, that's a multi-asset platform, and we will have the automation on TickBlaze too. So all kinds of capabilities with the automated mom signals, automated strategy, and we'll just keep letting it trade. We'll keep letting it play. If we press lower and get some extension lower, I'll probably take the stop and move it to right around that pivot, since I don't have the trail stop portion of the strategy turned on because I'm sitting here watching it. So if I wanted to turn that on, I could. As price advances, it'll advance the stop to trail it according to how responsive I want the stop trail to be or how passive I want it. So it's a really simple trail stop mechanism, and we leave that up to, whatever you want. The nice thing, anybody that comes in the program, I have a very structured start here process, not only for how to trade all the tools manual, but a very structured and very streamlined process to get up and running in a start here section in our private community for those that want to trade automated like right away. So anyhow, there you go. We'll stand by and see what we get. Okay, market's been oscillating. Oh, there we triggered along. So we kept a slight amount of profit from the last trade. Now we're long since I was in long short mode. So I like being one and done. So for me, I see the market push, had me plus over 600 on that push and that push. I might just hit the flatten button. My bias is to get done and get out of the market as fast as possible at or near my daily goal. And some days it just runs. And by the time I blip out, I might be at 850, 900 or whatever. So you just don't know from one day to the next. But today, I'm just going to kind of sit back, let it do its thing. The markets, I feel, are increasing in volatility. So I don't worry about it then. If we come out of the open and we've got some direction and we're not coming out of the market with a scrub range, I don't mind letting the system run a bit to see what it can do, especially so you can see the mechanics of how it easily flips back and forth or stays in trades that continue to run. So anyhow, we'll stand by here and we'll see what we get. Okay, we just got a short signal, so it flipped the other way. So we're a little bit negative on the day. So the market's having a bit of difficulty breaking down through this support as of yet to the area where there's some more, I'd say more heavier support down below. That was from the tail end of the prior day's trading. And so far, no push to this upper recent ranges of price. So we got good snap out of the open, a little bit of a junk range, and now the market's trying to find a direction. So we are kind of in the middle of the road, and I talk about this in my training. If you look at the most recent high to low range, where there's more significant pivots, we did open literally right in the middle of the road. So this might take a few oscillations, but the beauty about these markets with this type of strategy, it seems like even if we take like an abnormal day where I'm not done in one or two trades, if it takes three or, two to, I'd say like 3 to 4 trades, one of those babies, whether it's the third or fourth, tends to run hard and then gets us done. So anyhow, we're standing by and we'll see what we get here. We're going to let it keep running and let it flip back and forth until we get a good linear price movement. That was a pretty good one. I could have blipped out and been done during any of this time and ended the day positive, but my bias is to just let it run and do its thing without meddling with it. Okay, I heard the noise, so I ran over here. I have the volume turned down a little bit for the audible tone, so we've been short, we've been long, we've been short, so now we're in trade 4. So even though it's a bit cyclical and we're still kind of stuck in the middle of the road, maybe we can run to finally, since we're not running to that side of the range, we eventually usually will run to one side of the most recent range or the other. And we're about flat on P&L. So I can live with that. And I'm not having to think when the market's jinking this way and jinking that way. I'm letting the automation figure it out so I don't have to. Okay, we'll stand by here and we'll see what we get. Okay, now if we pushed a little bit higher, I'd be back above 500 for P&L, and I've been in 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. This trade it did not take because I was already long, and I'm still in long position. So it's very, very rare that I get in 4 trades. Because usually if I see a market where I'm very close to my profit objective and it stalls out, I might let it take like one more trade. But in this case, that type of stuff, knowing me, I would have hit and flatten, and then I would have probably just turned the strategy on, let it take any next trade. It would have taken this trade, got a little bit of movement, and then I could be done on the day. But in the end, I could trade higher size. I could trade probably 7 MNQs. And I notice if I bump up to 6 to 7 MNQs, my number of days that'll be done by one and done go up substantially. So it's probably not a bad idea. But you never know what the markets can throw at you or unscheduled news hits. So I just play 4 to 5 MNQs and call that good. So we're in positive P&L. I'm not having to do anything. The automation's doing it, and I'm just going to keep letting it play out. Okay, so I've been running this the entire time. I'm over 700. It's taken every single trade. It's 10:30. It's been trading for 2 hours. Let's flatten, turn that off, and call it a day. So several times I was right out of the gates. I was over 600 a few times, and then in this run up, I got over 500. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. We got over 600. Then it got chopped up a bit. I mean, it made a little money here. Then it barely made a tad of money there, and then it made money there, and then this run put me over the top. So let's count how many trades it took, and I still got my daily goal. Okay, so I was in 1 trade short, 1 trade long, 1 trade short, 1 trade long, 1 trade short. That was a long trade, so I was already long, so it didn't take that. Then I was short, then I was long. I was already in a long. It triggered another long, so that one's ignored. So then I was, that long flipped out there. Then I was short. That trade is a short there, but I was already short. And then I was long. So the actual amount of flips, it was long. So that's trade 1, trade 2, trade 3, trade 4, trade 5, trade 6, trade 7, trade 8. So it took me 8 trades today to push over 700 to get to my daily goal. So I've never ever let it run that long when I'm in, because I usually just, if I see it miss on the first trade, like, let's say I get to 560, 570, and then I see it hit 600. And then, it's lifting a little bit. As soon as I get close to 700, I just blip it out and call it done. So there you have it. info@gridalgo.com for any questions. The chop doesn't kill us. That's the beauty of the system.